Hey folks, just checking for the mic and other stuff before we start up. Just a sec. Folks, can you just check if the audio is okay? Yeah. Hey folks, yeah, so the audio is also okay, seems good. So yeah, so let's wait for a few more minutes for others to join. Just wait for like 3-4 minutes. I have a bunch of topics that I wanted to discuss today. I have made a list of all of them. Let's go through each of these. Okay, I hope everything is all right here. Yeah, I can see the stream also being clean. No issues here. Okay, headphone. Yeah, so everything looks good. Hey folks, thanks for joining. Let's wait for a couple of more minutes for everyone else to join. So just give me 2 minutes. Sorry, is there a problem? Okay. Can you also just close the door to avoid noise? Hey folks, good evening, folks. So 2 more minutes. There are a couple of very important things I wanted to discuss today. Anyway, let me just keep the notes here that I've just written. Okay, so if you have any questions, just shoot them here and let's see, we'll answer as many as possible. So I think you all got the email yesterday, if I'm not wrong, that we have sent out, extending the time for graph theory. And because we have also given more questions, because typically instead of giving 20 questions, this time around we give 25 questions for practice, because there are a good number of questions that come from graph theory every year, or graph algorithms and graph data structures in general. So we thought we'll give you some more time to finish, because when we see the progress of students, it is still little lacking. So we track progress of all students to see where they stand, and keep and so we're giving a couple of days to finish this, but then we'll give you content for Saturday and Sunday. Typically we don't give you content for Saturday and Sunday, but since we have extended the time for a couple of days now, we'll give you content for Saturday and Sunday, because we are planning to finish, so today is 20th, right? Hopefully if everything goes as per plan, by 26th to 28th we should be able to finish the whole of data structures and algorithms, and then take a couple of days to practice and revise, and then we'll get started with C programming. So the plan right now is, once we finish data structures algorithms, we'll take a few days to revise, practice more problems. Once we are through that, we'll start C programming as many students have requested, and after that we'll focus on all of mathematics. We'll do both engineering mathematics and discrete mathematics. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's one of my favorite topics. So yeah, since it's been 4 minutes into the discussion, let's get going. So a couple of things I've observed was, so a previous live session, I did mention that instead of answering practice questions, we would take questions from you in the comment section of each of the questions, and also the videos. I think only Arnab gave us a few questions, and we have answered all the questions there itself. When I was reviewing, when my team actually put through all the questions that were there, we didn't find any question that is worthy of a full 1 hour or 1.5 hour discussions, right? So please don't hesitate asking us any questions that you have while learning the concept, right? That's very important, because we want to spend time with you and clarify any question you have. Of course, we will answer the questions in the comment section itself, but if a question is really good, if it's upvoted by a lot of students, for the benefit of everybody, I want to spend some time here and tackle them. That's one approach that we discussed in the last live session, but unfortunately we haven't gotten enough questions. That could be because of multiple reasons. One, students understood everything, okay, but that's only hypothetical. So Akash has a question. I'll come to Akash's question. Yes, Akash, I'll come to that question. That's a good question you asked. Actually, I was also thinking on those lines. So the first thing here is, where was I? Yeah, I was at, yeah. So the reason we don't have questions is primarily, one reason could be that you have understood everything. That's good, but that's only hypothetically true. It's too ideal to be true. The second thing is you have not done the content, and we do see that only 50% of our students, sometimes 60% of students are doing the practice tests. Please take time. As I told you multiple times, please schedule some time every day to do both the practice problems and the theory. If you don't do either of them, it's clear that you will not make progress. Okay, this is very early stages of our practice, and we got to be very disciplined. Once you get used to good practice and good continuous habits, right? If you're spending like 2 or 3 days consistently every day through the week, and even 1 or 2 days in the weekend, certainly that's something that we can that's something that we can do it, right? So please spend that time. If you're not asking questions, I will assume that you have not gone through the content. Okay, so please, of course, we do track whether you've done content or not. If you have any question, please put it down and we want to help you in that, right? So number one. Okay, number two is if you want us to do anything else in the live session, do let us know. See, we are open here. I can teach you anything that you ask for. The two options that we have now are solving the problems in the practice test. That's one option. The second option we have is answering all of the questions that are asked by many students and are uploaded by other students. That's the second option. If there is a third option that I'm not able to think of, please do let us know. We want to do what is right for our students, what helps our students, right? So having said that, there are a couple of interesting questions coming in. Let me take each of them, right? The first one is by Akash. Akash says, please make videos on proof of correctness for important algorithms. They're asked in IAT interviews. Akash, actually, I was discussing today morning itself about proving the correctness of your minimum spanning tree algorithms, your Dijkstra's algorithm, Bellman-Ford, your all-pair shortest paths, right? We were discussing this. One thing that we realized was we went through almost literally the last 30 years of GATE question papers. For GATE itself, this is not asked. So in the interest of everybody's time, we are not covering it in the GATE content itself. But over a period of time, we will surely add these as optional topics. Okay, because there is a balancing act that I have to do, right? Certainly, to be honest with you, I would love to do those proofs, and they're very exciting. I would personally love to do them. And the plan of action today, I was discussing this with the whole team. They said most often this is never asked. Why are you just overburdening the students? Because they have a limited time to practice. So we thought we'll do it in two phases. First, we'll cover exactly what is needed in the GATE syllabus. Once that is over, we'll add these optional topics that students can go through if they want to, right? Just so that somebody who wants to just prepare for GATE can skip them, right? All these optional topics, like for example, how do you prove the correctness of Bellman-Ford algorithm, right? If you go through CLRS textbook, the proof is non-trivial, but it goes through a series of logical steps, right? And of course, it uses all the concepts of concepts from dynamic programming or greedy algorithms. We would certainly love to do it, to be honest, but we will do it as optional topics, not to overwhelm every student. Okay, that's a very good suggestion. Actually, we were just discussing this topic yesterday. The whole team was discussing whether we should do proofs or not, right? So that's a very good question, Akash. The second question by Pranjit Das, and this is a very good question. Actually, I already made notes for this question. This is for students who are dropping a year. I also mentioned this in the last live session. For students who are dropping a year, my suggestion is this. Please follow our schedule, and when you've solved all of the practice problems, because you might already know most of the theory, right? You might already know most of the theory. So when you're practicing most of the problems, if you have finished the practice problems, the first thing that you should try and do is, of course, revise all the theory so that there are no holes in your understanding, there are no gaps in your understanding, number one. Number two is finish off all the practice problems that we are giving you. Third thing is pick up any standard textbook. Like for example, for algorithms, CLRS is one of the best books. You can also pick up Sedgwick or any other book and try and solve the practice problems or the exercise problems in these books. You'll also get answers for CLRS, by the way, if you want online, right? These are very good problems. You see a lot of questions in GATE typically coming from these. I'll tell you, there is nothing that beats, or if you have time still, please read the CLRS chapter, the specific topics, right? I mean, that is, truth be told, that's what I did when I was preparing for GATE long back, when I was in my BTech. I literally read all of the major textbooks and tried to solve as many exercise problems as possible. Nothing beats that strategy, let me tell you. That's a lengthy process, but it's a process worth doing. So if you have time, if you are dropping a whole year, my suggestion is, in addition to what we are doing, please do spend some time on reading the textbook, the standard textbooks like CLRS, and most importantly, solving the exercise problems. If you have finished those also, just let us know. We'll give you more problems. We have tons of problems at our disposal, which are slightly harder. They may not be in a MCQ format. Some of them may be more dense. Actually, you can get them from most university assignments. You go to any major university, like most major IITs, Indian Institute of Science, Stanford, Berkeley, everywhere there is a data structures and algorithms course or an algorithms course. Just go through the assignment problems there. Those are really, really high quality problems. So there is no dearth of problems that you can practice. So if you're dropping a year, you double, triple prepare, right? Because you have time at your disposal, right? So I just made notes for that also. So if you cannot find some of these assignments, do let us know, send us an email, we'll share resources for you. Okay, so I'm just going step by step. Pranjit, Lokesh, 40 in GATE. So Lokesh, you got 40 rank or 40 marks? 40 marks, right? So Lokesh, I think we also made a video on this topic for some of our students. It's already posted on our YouTube channel. See, if you got any rank, right, you have basically few options. One, if you're getting a good university, or if you're at least getting an interview call for some good universities, or better still, some universities like IIIT Hyderabad, like Indian Statistical Institute Kolkata, and BITS Pilani, they conduct their own exams. So I strongly recommend that you go and apply to these places, write their exams. If you get through, very good, because these institutions are certainly very good to start with, number one. Number two, apply to all the institutes which have interview process, right? If your marks can get you a cutoff there, please go there. That's second option. Attend all the interviews if you can make it. If you get a good university, even though it may not be an IIT or an NIT, if you get good central universities also, like there are some good, there are many good central universities. Some of them that I know at the top of my head are DTU in Delhi. There is also University of Hyderabad in Hyderabad. These are good central universities that if you get an admit, go join there, right? If you're happy with the course curriculum, if you're happy with the teaching there, continue the 2 years. If you're not happy, you can always take the GATE exam next year. Continue your preparation, right? You can always take the GATE exam instead of dropping a year, because you have a backup plan now. Once you drop a year, there is a lot of pressure on you. Let me tell you that. Because you're dropping 1 year of your career, you're slowed down by 1 year, there's a lot of pressure to perform very well. And that pressure can take its toll, not just during the preparation, but even during the examination. The third option is, if you have a job offer, why not join the job, learn some software engineering there, and then practice and then prepare for GATE parallelly. There are a lot of people who are working professionals who prepare for GATE. I've had classmates with anywhere from 2 to 3 years experience who have prepared for GATE and cracked GATE very successfully. So that's another option that you should consider, right? So these are all the options that you have. I would suggest dropping out a year as a last option, trust me. Okay, because the pressure on it, and you're being slowed down by a year. Why do that, right? So that dropping a year should be your last option. That's my personal suggestion. And yeah. Oh, so somebody, Jackie is asking about MTech in AI at IAC. I just went through that whole thing. It's a very good course. I saw it's being conducted by it's the MTech in AI program is being conducted by electronics, electrical, and computer science departments. I'm hoping it's a very good course, because IAC has some of the best resources for machine learning in India, both in terms of faculty, in terms of placements, in terms of research, also in terms of just the pure computational resources that Indian Institute of Science has because of their supercomputing research center and things like that. It's certainly one of the, I'm assuming, and to the best, again, this is the first time they're starting the course, so we don't know a lot of details about it. But from what I know about IAC and the faculty, the facilities, the placements, the research opportunity, I think it's going to be terrific. So if I strongly recommend you apply for that, because it's a terrific program, right? Sahana, do a live session on drawing recursive tree approach for time complexity analysis. Sahana, so I want to understand, just send us an email if you can, because I mean, is there something that you did not understand in the videos? Okay, I'm trying to understand what is the advantages doing a live session, because we have solved multiple problems, right? I mean, through I think 3 or 4 live sessions, We also covered it extensively in the course videos. I mean, I'm trying to understand what you want me to exactly cover in a live session, right? Please let me know. Send us an email. If there is a certain requirement, we will certainly do it. Or if you want to, again, at the end of the day, I think the solved problems, we have solved multiple problems with recursive tree approach for time complexity analysis. And again, trust me, recursive tree sometimes can take a lot of time. I believe there was one instance, right, in a live session, I was using extended master's theorem and one student said, can you solve it using recursive tree? We can solve it, but it just took us 15 minutes to solve it, right? So recursive tree approach is certainly useful for some time, but in an examination setting where you should solve a problem, even a 2 marks problem in 4 minutes, it is better to have extended master's theorem at the back of your mind. I'm not saying recursive tree approach is not right or anything, but sometimes it just takes too much time because you need to know a lot of infinite series. Look at this. To solve problems using recursive tree approach, if you have a complex problem, you need to know a lot of sum of infinite series equations, right? Instead of remembering all of them, you might be better off remembering extended master's theorem, right? That's the reason why we taught extended master's theorem in the first place. Okay, so and solving recursive tree approach every time may not be optimal because it could just eat up a lot of your time. Okay, how will you prepare for the written test? Please talk about. So we don't know for MTech in AI at IAC. We still don't know the syllabus for it. But I'm assuming from what I know about IAC, it will be very math heavy. You'll have a lot of questions in linear algebra, probability, maybe data structures, algorithms. So because this is an AI course, and this course can be, I'm assuming it can be taken by not just CS students, but also non-CS students. So they would not focus too much on computer science specific subjects. They would focus more on mathematics. They might even have some questions in calculus. Okay, because AI as a subject itself would require you to have a very good understanding of linear algebra, probability, statistics. Most of the GATE syllabus that you have, just focus on the GATE mathematics. And if to the best of my knowledge, this MTech program can be taken by ECE and EEE students also, which means they want to have they want to conduct a single exam for all departments. So it will mostly consist of calculus, linear algebra, probability statistics. That's what I would assume from what I know of IAC. Preparation strategy for interview at IIIT Hyderabad. Yeah, so actually just send us an email. We have one of our team members who studied at IIIT Hyderabad. So just so he has been through the journey. Just send us an email, Ritesh, with your phone number. We'll call you back and help you guide and guide you to the best of our ability. Okay, because we have somebody who has been through that process who knows it very thoroughly. Okay, just send an email to gatesc@appliedcourse.com, and one of our teammates who actually studied at IIIT Hyderabad went through the whole process will reach out to you. Okay. The test interface in the app lags a bit. In the desktop app, you're saying? Okay, so yeah, anyway, we'll look into it. Thank you for letting us know. By the way, we have fixed a few things on our tech platform. So some students have requested for a full screen. We have enabled that already. Android app, it's working for some students, but other students have some minor problems. We are working on it and we'll fix it as soon as we can because we built this Android app in literally 1 week's time. There will be bugs because there are like thousands of Android phones and we have to see and test thoroughly. Just give us some time. We will fix that. Any issue that you have or any improvement that you suggest us on the tech platform, either in the desktop app or mobile app, just shoot an email. We will take it up on a priority basis and fix them as soon as possible, right? Since especially our mobile app is still in its infancy, it will be buggy and we'll fix it as soon as we can, trust us. And anything which is simple, we'll fix it fast. Anything which is more fundamental tech change will take some time, but we'll take it up on high priority basis. Okay. So where are we? Okay. I have low score in GATE. What should I do? Applied AI, GATE, or job plus GATE for the next year? See, this is a meat shade. So that's up to you. See, to be honest, I think you should join a job. That's what I would strongly recommend. Please don't drop a year, because if you already have a job offer, I would recommend you join the job and then you pick between whether you're more passionate about GATE and going to a master's program at top institutes or transitioning to an AA career, right? But I would say instead of giving this choice, I would strongly recommend you not drop a year. But of course, if you're not dropping a year and going for the job, you will have to work double the hard, because you have to prove yourself in the job and you have to work hard for GATE. There are no shortcuts in life. Okay, there is only one thing, which is called hard work, and of course, some luck sometimes helps us. Okay. So Umesh says, despite huge hard work, I could not fare well this year. I can't figure out what's wrong with me and what's not wrong, what's not right with me. Umesh, I mean, that's a very high level question. I don't have an answer to that. So just reach out to us, send us an email or call us. We'll try to help you debug what might have been wrong in your preparation strategy. Like this is something very common. I mean, because it's a 3-hour exam, right? 100 things can go wrong. You might panic in the exam. You might not have slept well the day before the exam. There are 100 things that can go wrong in a 3-hour exam. Trust me. Or probably you didn't prepare some subjects where there was a lot of weightage this year, unlike previous years, right? So just give us a ring or shoot us an email with your phone number. We'll try and reach out to you and help you understand what you should do in the next stage of your life, right? Maybe GATE is not right for you. Okay, let's be honest there. Okay, maybe that's not the right option. And I've seen people who didn't take GATE who have been very successful in life and career. So remember, GATE is not the end and all of everything. So just shoot an email to us. We'll try to help you. Should job in service-based company be avoided? Why should you avoid it? A job is a job. In every job you learn. Why do we say that this job is bad and this job is good? Of course, if you get a better job with a better quality of work, you should join. But why should you avoid a job in a service-based company? I have friends at IAC, my colleagues and my co-classmates who worked in small startups and some of them in small service-based companies, who worked hard through them, went to IAC, prepared for GATE while they were working in a job. No job is small. Why should we demean any job? There is a value that even service-based companies create. Let's not demean any company. You might not like the work, that's your opinion, right? If you don't like the work at a services-based company, you should upskill yourself and crack a product-based company. But a job is a job. You're providing a service to a customer at the end of the day, right? There is nothing wrong with it or there is nothing low about it. I think we should respect every job, from somebody who sweeps her home to somebody who runs a country. Every job, like that's the karma yogi, right? I don't know if some of you know it. That's what Krishna says in Gita. There is respect in every work. And please don't demean any type of job. If you have a job at services company and if you want to explore, go explore. If you like it, very good. If you don't like it, that's okay. Try out, learn new skills, move to another job that you like, or better still, if you are interested in GATE, if you have taken GATE in the past and if you're focused about GATE, work for GATE hard and go to an IIT through which you can go to a better company or a better type of work that you think is better, right? See, everything is subjective here. Okay. So yes, you can prepare for GATE. Somebody is asking, can you prepare for GATE alongside job? Lot of people do it. I think at least in my class of about 25, 26 people at IAC, I think about 6, 7 of them, probably more actually, probably 8, 9 of them. And these are all GATE ranks under 30. I think the last GATE rank in my class is 31. I think, yeah, I think actually not just 6, I think about 8 to 10 people were working professionals who prepared for GATE. And this happens every year. Every year, if you take the top 100 rankers in GATE, you will find 20, 30 of them who are working professionals. I'm sure of this, okay? Because they have a fire in the belly to work hard, to move to a different stream, to learn new things, okay? Probably they're not happy with their work, right? So you should just go down that path, and it's very possible. You'll have to balance your time. You'll have to work harder than somebody who is in college, because the workload in college is significantly less than workload at a job. But let's be honest, you can crack it. So where are we? Okay. So Akash, yes, engineering maths in depth so that we can crack intelligent systems next year. Heard the math is heavy. Yes, IAC interviews are math heavy. But to be honest with you, again, this is a trade-off that we always have, right? Of course, if you want, I can teach math for like 400 hours, right? I can teach you only math for 400 hours. I would love to do it, by the way. The problem here is trade-off, right? We have to make a trade-off to benefit every student. Even for engineering math, what we'll do is this. We'll do it in 2 parts. In the first iteration, we'll cover everything that GATE needs. In the second part, as time permits, we'll add some optional topics, or we'll give you references where you can increase the depth. Once your basics are there, we'll point you in the right direction to increase your depth, right? And by the way, most of IAC interviews are at GATE level. They will ask you stuff from GATE gate concepts itself. They're not asking you some rocket science. The level of problems that are asked are slightly harder. That's it. Okay, in most of IAC interviews, even though I've not taken it, I've heard of them because my classmates have taken them and joined IAC in various programs. The topics are the same. It's just that the hardness of questions increases. And the best way, if you want to prepare, best way is, again, take a standard textbook. I'll tell you the standard textbooks for each subject in engineering math or each topic in engineering math. If you just solve the exercise problems in most of these textbooks, you are more than prepared for any interview at IAC. Okay, the professor is not crazy to ask you some research problem. He knows that you're an undergraduate student and he'll expect answers at an undergraduate level only. Okay. Jackie is asking that it's taking a lot of time for me to prepare notes. All my time for 2019 GATE went in note making only, and I landed with 22 marks. I'm still making notes for watching videos. What should I do? Jackie, one thing that I can do for you is actually you can't escape making notes, right? Because everyone's notes is different. Think about it this way, because everybody memorizes things on their own way. But I mean, note taking is something that almost every serious student does. This is not something that people escape, right? I don't know. Probably the reason you got 22 marks was not because you were taking notes all the time, right? Taking notes is mandatory. I certainly understand that if you read for 2 hours of content, if you're learning content and if you're taking notes parallelly, you'll pause the video and take notes. Don't try to take very rigorous notes. Okay, just jot down all the key points. That should be good. Okay, some people take vigorous notes, like every word, every sentence that is said, they take notes on it. That is not needed, because why are you taking the note? So that in a single shot, you look at the notes and you'll say, oh, okay, oh, this is what this algorithm is, this is the time complexity, and you'll be able to realize everything that is there in a quick snapshot. Okay, so I think there is no point in taking too much exhaustive notes. Take all the notes that will help you memorize. So for example, you should take maybe 1-page notes for each algorithm. That's how I do it. Again, every person has a different strategy to take notes. My strategy is I'll write all the key points. Okay, I'll try to see what is the key point, what are the key differentiations here when I take notes. You might actually observe that in my videos also. My videos are like note taking sometimes. Okay, so whatever you see on my video is mostly the notes that I personally make when I record these videos on my notebook. Okay, literally not even a notebook, on a scratch pad basically. So what happens here is you should take notes, but don't spend too much time on it. If you're watching 2 hours of content, I think you should spend like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to take notes, right? If you're spending 2 hours making notes, you're just overtaking them. And you'll never have time to go through it. The objective of notes is to quickly revise. Visually glance at it once and get the whole concept revised in your head. Okay, and everybody has a different way of remembering. For example, I'm very good at remembering images. Okay, I'm very good at, so if I see something, I'll recognize it very quickly. So that's why I try to write a lot of my notes in a very visual fashion. Okay, because my visual memory is good. Okay, so it depends on what my diagrams are very good. Like if I see a diagram, I'll remember it very vividly. Actually, I remember many algorithms with the diagrams actually. Okay, if you ask me, explain me Kruskal's, I think of the Kruskal's diagram in my head, not of the pseudocode. I still remember the diagram in my head, and then I can imagine everything about how Kruskal's work, or any algorithm for that matter, works internally in my head through the diagram. That's my strategy of remembering. Everybody has a different strategy, and hence we encourage you to make the notes yourself, truth be told. Hey, Arnab, this notification of comments, yeah, so we will do that. I think that's a small bug we have, because this problem is not there in applied AA course where, so this is a bug that we just realized. We will fix it. In the meantime, any question that we answer, we'll explicitly send you an email right now. Okay, and we've just informed the team. We came to know about this, I think yesterday or today, and we will fix it. I mean, you will get an email notification as soon as we respond to your answer. Okay, so apologies for that. Till the time the bug is fixed, we'll manually copy paste the question and answer and send you an email. Okay, we'll just fix that. I think there is a small integration bug. Okay, so explain problem 5 in hash and AVL assignment again. Okay, I don't have the assignment handy, but yeah, so Arnab, I'll send you. So you want me, so we'll redo that video. What's there? Okay, just make a note of it. We'll do one more video of that and paste it below that. Okay. This is problem number 5 in hash and AVL assignment. Arnab, can you just send us an email with this saying that please re-explain this, and if you can point out what you did not understand clearly, so that we can correct that, right? So right now, redoing probably will redo the same thing. If you can tell us in an email of this problem 5 in Hashtable and AVL assignment, if you can just exactly pinpoint what you did not understand, at what timestamp, what concept you did not understand, it will help us to do a better answer, and we'll send you a email response with a better answer. Okay, just make a note of it. Question 5 in this assignment. Oh, so you've made a comment. Okay, we'll respond to that. Okay, so Arnav has a comment on that. Let's take a look at it and we'll fix it. Sure, Arnav. Yeah. So what Akash Ghosh said. What did Akash Ghosh say? Okay. Yeah. So math part, right? Yeah, we'll do that as I told you. Okay. So when is the data structure course coming? So Nanda. Okay. So this question is about. So we are working on a new course to help software engineers to build up their skills in C programming, data structures, and algorithms, mostly to to prepare them to crack product-based companies. We're still working on it. It's like literally like we're going on full throttle right now. Just give us some time. We don't want to launch a half-baked course or a half-done course. We are trying to design the best course that is possible. We want to take a little time. Certainly, you'll have it ready during your summer vacation, right? So we're already working on it. Our internal deadline right now is April 1st. We don't know if we can meet the deadline, but we're working full throttle on creating the content, because there we need to do a lot of programming problems. Because to actually crack a good product-based company, you have to practice programming like crazy, like literally like crazy, right? So the best way there for us is to teach you a lot of programming practice in addition to all the data structures and algorithms. So theory is not enough there, like GATE exam, right? For GATE exam, if you know all of the major algorithms and if you've solved the previous GATE questions, you can solve it. But in the context of cracking a product-based company, you need a lot of programming practice. So GATE is very, very different from preparing for a product-based company, unfortunately. Okay. Oh yes, Himanshu, we will be teaching discrete mathematics, obviously. So right now we are doing data structures algorithms. Once this is over, we'll do C programming. Then we'll start all of mathematics. We'll do both engineering mathematics and discrete mathematics, right? So okay. How to prepare for on-campus placements and GATE preparation simultaneously. So it depends on the companies that you're preparing for, right? So if top-notch product-based companies, so if you're preparing for top-notch product-based companies, then all of the stuff that you're learning in data structures and algorithms is certainly useful again. But of course, you have to practice programming. If it's a services company, even there they expect you to write programs in a modern language like C, C++, Java, or Python, preferably some object-oriented programming language, but even C would do, right? So it's come on, in a college like setup, right? You have ample time to prepare, right? And there is a lot of overlap between what companies ask for and what GATE asks you to prepare, right? Like the reason we started off data structures algorithms and we'll do C now is because you're preparing for interviews also, for job interviews, right? So there is a lot of overlap, right? The only overlap that is not there is if you're doing for product-based companies, you need to practice a lot of programming that is not part of GATE syllabus, unfortunately. Okay, so that's my point there. So 2 years MTech versus 2 years job experience, which is good. Depends on the job experience and depending on where you're doing your MTech, right? So if you're, okay, I'll be honest here, right? Imagine you have a job at a top product-based company and you have a master's at an IIT. Okay, the personal suggestion that I'll give you is to join the product-based company. Okay, I'll tell you why. In 2 years at a product-based company, you will move from a software engineer 1. I'll tell you about Amazon. Okay, that's easy because I have first-hand experience. Suppose if you get a job at Amazon versus, let's say, at good IIT. Okay, and if it's a software engineer job. Okay, and if you're okay with a software engineer job, you don't want to move to machine learning or anything like that, then joining IAC is good. Sorry, joining Amazon is good because in 2 years, you'll move from an SDE1 to an SDE2. Right, so you're gaining the 2 years experience, which will push you one level up. Even after IAC, if you go and join Amazon as an if you crack Amazon interview, you'll still join as an SDE1. So as compared to the guy who joined straight after BTech at Amazon, you're having a disadvantage, right? Because that guy is already one level above you. Okay, so if you get at a top IIT and if you get a top product-based company, I would still recommend, of course, this is only about job, but if you want to go and do fundamental research, going to an IIT or an IAC is certainly the best option. Okay, because getting into research labs with a BTech is very rare. Okay, so if it's all about placement, joining the top product-based company is a good idea. If you want to go do a PhD later on, then certainly going to an IAC or an IIT is good, because that is a stepping stone for going to a better institute for a PhD, right? So that's what I would recommend. So somebody sent me the EECS. I've seen, oh, sample questions are there. Okay. So programming, data structures, calculus, linear algebra, discrete mathematics. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Oh, it's very unfortunate, right? Why should ECE and EEE people know discrete mathematics? They don't know discrete mathematics. This is unfair, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the IAC MTech AI syllabus. These people may not know, like ECE and EEE folks may not know binary search trees, binary heaps, graphs, all of that stuff. They may not even know discrete mathematics. This is too much unfair to them, right? I mean, of course, it's slightly unfair even to computer science students, because computer science guys don't know partial derivatives, multiple integrals, vector identities, and directional derivatives. So I think this is like I wish IAC just focused on math, the math that everybody has. Let me look at the level of problems. This is not very hard. This is just slightly above gate level. So I'm looking at the sample question paper for IAC MTech in AI. This is too much in favor of computer science folks, okay? Because there is discrete mathematics which the ECE and EEE folks don't study. It also has all of the data structures like binary search trees and graphs and etc., heaps and stuff that an ECE and EEE guy won't know. It's unfair, but that's the life, right? So the questions are also not too hard. They're slightly above gate level. So if you're prepared for gate level, my suggestion for you would be to just go and practice the exercise problems in standard textbooks like CLRS or any math textbook, standard textbooks, right? I think you're well prepared for most of these entrance exams, or most of these exams like MTech in AI at IAC, right? Uh, okay, okay, okay. I've gone through this. Okay. Oh, so Shubhadeep, very good question. What is the importance of learning about software engineering in undergrad, right? You learn about agile, waterfall, all of these things. These are, you'll not believe it, these are super duper important in the real world. Unfortunately, it's not in the GATE syllabus, but a real world project, because my team actually used agile. Some teams that I worked with, not all the teams, some teams used agile methodology for actual product development. So agile waterfall might seem theoretical to you right now, but if you join a proper software company building software products or services, you will run behind the agile framework, trust me. Okay, that is the day-to-day life of a software engineer. You live by agile methodology. Many companies, many teams use it. So it is something that you may not appreciate it enough. Similarly, object-oriented programming, right? It all feels theoretical right now. Even design patterns, if you study design patterns, it feels theoretical. But when you develop a large piece of software, these are like super duper critical, trust me. Okay, yeah, we will be teaching discrete mathematics, but after, so I think this question is repeated. Yeah, this is a repeated question. So we'll finish data structures algorithms right now, after which I will go to C programming, after which I'll start all of mathematics. Okay. Okay. Arnab, you'll not believe, you'll not be able to read my notes. If you want to see my notes, I hope I'm carrying it. Just let me show you. I just scribbled down. Let me show you if I have my notes. Okay. I don't have it here. See, this is how I wrote. Anyway, I have a small problem that I've written here. I hope you can see it. My notebook is just this. In each page, I write the whole algorithm. Okay. I hope this is clear. Let me bring it closer. Yeah, that's all I write. For any algorithm, I'll draw a diagram or I'll draw a simple thing. You'll not be able to understand my notes because my notes is written from the perspective of me, because I understand most of the things. The couple of things that I might forget, I make note of it. Okay, this is some problem that I was solving for a video, right? So I literally scribble down a few points that I should not miss. I don't even explain what those points are, right? I just scribble down 3 or 4 points, and that's all is my notes. So because of course, if there is a diagram that I have to explain carefully, I'll draw the diagram myself. That's all is my notes, truth be told. So I actually don't take detailed notes because I try to, because that way some of the originality is lost. Okay, imagine if I'm explaining a friend on a notebook, right? Do I keep my notes next to me? No, I just keep a 3 or 4 points that I should not miss telling you. So the methodology that we're doing here is as if we are sitting next to you and explaining to a friend. Okay.
He's asking the video what we are.
On video what? Oh, whatever I write in the video, that's what you want. Yeah. So okay, we'll have to start saving it. We haven't saved all of that, but let me see. Let me see what we can do about it. Okay. Okay, I got it. The whole video snapshot, right? So we'll see. Let's see. Let's just give us some time. We'll work on it and see if we can give you that notes. Sure, we'll work on it. That's a good point. So if you can share, okay, Ayush is asking, is it true that AI/ML jobs require master's or PhD degree? That's not very true. But again, if you're an undergraduate student, you have a lot of proving to do. You have to prove that you're terrific as an undergraduate student, right? So till now, I think in my team, we have only hired one undergraduate student from IIIT Hyderabad, and that guy was terrific. Okay, this guy is really, really good with machine learning. Even then, he barely managed to clear the bar that we have. So the problem is at undergraduate level, you may not do enough of machine learning because you have other courses, and that's why you're not on par. But many companies today go to IITs, all the major institutes, they do hire BTech students. There is nothing which stops us from hiring BTech students as long as they're up to the bar. But typically we find masters and PhD students to have deeper knowledge the way we want. But many companies, they don't care. They don't care whether you have a BTech, especially product-based companies. They don't care whether you have a BTech, MTech, or PhD as long as you have the skills. But you have to prove that you have the skills. That's very important. And we have a lot of students at Applied AI course who are just BTech students. Some of them not even computer science students who have moved on to careers in AI successfully by building a strong portfolio of projects and showcasing their work. So that's very possible from our own experience at Applied AI course. Sachin is asking how to get into product-based companies by being in private college. Okay, so Sachin, I would strongly recommend you go to Applied AI course, a YouTube channel. There is a detailed video that I've made on this specific topic. Just Google search for it, you'll get it. Just search for Applied AI course, how to crack product-based companies, right? So there is actually a detailed video I've made which explains the perspective of interviewers on why they don't go to every college and the challenges that they face, because I've been in a hiring manager's shoe myself, right? So there you'll get a better appreciation on how to prepare and crack product-based companies, being in a non-top institution. Okay. Naveen, probability practice problems. I would love to do that. Yeah, probability is something that I enjoy a lot. Again, because it's foundational to AI. I've taught a lot of math for the AI course. Most of linear algebra, a lot of optimization, a lot of calculus, lots of probability and statistics that I've taught for the AI course that is successfully running for the last year and a half. That's why I'm super excited to teach math even here because it's something that is very close to my heart and something that I enjoy doing a lot. Even algorithms and data structures, fundamentally it's mathematics, right? Most of the algorithms after whom people are after, like Prim's algorithm, Kruskal's, right? Dijkstra, all of these were mathematicians or physicists who came up with these algorithms. John von Neumann was a mathematician to start with. Shannon was a mathematician to start with. Alan Turing was a mathematician. So a lot of modern computer science is mathematics, right? Except for some system subjects. What were the most enjoyable courses you've taken at IAC? There are a ton of them. I really enjoyed Professor Chiranjeev's courses. He has been my mentor and guide at IAC. Terrific guy, super lively, super energetic guy. There are also some very eye-opening courses. The very first day, first semester when I went to IAC, I took this course called Pattern Recognition by Professor Shirish Shevde. It was a huge eye-opener. I thought I was brilliant at math, all of that stuff. But soon I realized I don't know anything. So that was an eye-opener class. I also very vividly remember courses by Professor Kavita. She's now a professor at TAFR. Terrific lady. She used to prepare much harder than the students to give us the best lectures. She worked so hard. I mean, I used to see her in her office room till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. preparing notes for lectures. I think she worked harder than students to help us learn the topics better. Her classes were like, they were always full. I've taken both her algorithms course and an advanced PhD level topics in algorithms course. Again, terrific people, great lessons of life from those people. Uh, so Arnab, yeah, I got your point. We'll see what we can do about that. Sahana, what is the question that you posted that I missed? I don't think I missed a question from the very start. What is the question that you posted that I missed? Oh, okay, I missed it. Okay, good question. So what DSC is used in sets while implementing code in Kruskal's algorithm? Very good question. I was just discussing before this live session. There is actually a data set called disjoint sets. Okay, so there is actually a data set called disjoint set which is used in Kruskal's algorithm. The reason I have not covered it in this course videos is because it is not in GATE syllabus. But if you're interested, just go to CLRS book. There is this very interesting data structure called disjoint sets. Again, the analysis of that is non-trivial because it uses log star v. Its time complexity is log star v. It's a very interesting algorithm actually. It helps you do those two functions in Kruskal, like find set and union. You can almost do those two in order of one time. Okay, so the data structure that is actually used, I didn't cover that because it's not in GATE syllabus, because again, covering that will add more content, which I wanted to avoid. But the data structure actually is called disjoint sets. It's a very nice data structure. If time permits, once all of the courses, all of the subjects are over, in the second iteration, I'll add some of these topics as optional topics for others to learn and work on. Okay, I just didn't, because teaching disjoint sets will be again some 4 to 5 hours again. I didn't want to pile up the content which is not critical to GATE. Okay, so yes, a linked list or an array will not do. Disjoint sets is the right data structure for that problem, right? Okay. Yes, we'll teach engineering math from scratch. Of course. Of course, we assume that you know at least 10th or 12th class level math, right? I can't go and teach 11th and 12th class math. Okay. I'll assume that you know 11th and 12th class math and I'll start from there. We'll start from scratch, very basics, just like our algorithms and data structures. We started off with very basics of insertion sort and we build on top of it, right? Similar here. We'll teach everything that you need to crack GATE in these courses. Okay. So Dia is asking about CLRS, so many concepts, how to know what to read and being choosy. Just stick to GATE syllabus, right? If you're preparing for GATE, just stick to GATE syllabus. Like disjoint sets, there is a chapter called disjoint sets. It's not in GATE syllabus, just skip it, right? And also for GATE, if you see all the previous year questions, some proofs are not very important. Not all proofs, but some proofs are not important. Like proofs of a lot of graph theoretic algorithms are not very important as far as previous year GATE questions is concerned, right? Hence, you can skip some of that. You have to be choosy with these things, okay? And the best measure on what to cover and what not to cover is based on previous year GATE questions, because that's the bar we have, right? Of course, if somebody changes the level of questions tomorrow suddenly, yes, all of us will be in a fix, but that seldom happens. That has never happened in the last 30 years of GATE questions, okay? So just pick those topics that are there in the GATE syllabus and solve those practice problems and read that content. So again, guys, the only reason I'm not covering some topics is because they've never been asked in GATE and they've not been mentioned in GATE syllabus. As I told you, if I start adding all the content that I want, I can teach whole of CLRS, first page to last page, including every proof, but then we'll be stuck in data structures algorithms. We'll never be able to do any other course. It's a trade-off that I have to live with because of GATE syllabus. Because if that's the case, right, I'll just do data structures algorithms till December. Forget about CLRs. Let's take Donald Knuth's book, right? We'll just do it. I'll do it for years together because I think doing each volume will take 6 months, right? So it's a trade-off that we have to live with, and unfortunately, we have to limit ourselves to GATE syllabus. If you don't do that, we will never be able to finish GATE. This is the reality, and this is the constraint that we all have to live with, right? I hope that is clear.
Kashyap is asking, last 2 days he is not doing well, and any suggestion he asked.
So Kashyap, could you tell us what is happening? Or else best thing is please call us. You have the phone number on our website, right? Just do, again, by the way, for some of our practice sets, slowly we've increased the level of questions because we want to prepare you to the level slightly above GATE. We don't want to prepare you just for the GATE level, because if you see last 5 to 6 years, GATE questions have been easy, to be honest. They've not been on the, very few questions are on the harder side. But you never know, you might get a slightly harder GATE question. So what we're doing here is, we are not only giving you simple questions, we are giving some practice questions that are slightly hard. Okay, that could be one reason why you're not scoring very good marks, but that's okay. We have see, problem solving is a skill that we develop over time with consistent effort. For every problem that you're getting wrong, ask yourself, why I haven't done this mistake? Is there a conceptual gap? Is a concept I didn't understand? Or am I not able to solve this problem because I didn't understand the problem carefully? And just ask that question, the foundational question, or those first principles questions on what went wrong. That will teach you on where to improve. Or else give us a ring, we'll help you with that. Okay. So TFR, Shubhadeep, to the best of my knowledge, TFR only admits for PhD students. I don't think TFR has a master's program per se. I think they only admit for PhD. At least that used to be the case. Just go check on their website. To the best of my knowledge, TFR only admits for PhD, and I don't think they have a specific master's program per se, right? So Arnab, the hash table section you mentioned, that you assume the probe sequence like 0 to 4. Arnab, I'm not understanding this question. Could you send us an email, because there is so much content that it's hard for me to keep track of every example. Please shoot us an email or leave a comment under that video. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, because I'm not getting the context of your questions, right? Okay, Kashif, I've answered your question. So for IIIT Hyderabad, right, Naveen, what would you say? Would previous GATE questions be sufficient for preparing for IIIT Hyderabad?
GATE preparation will be sufficient.
But just solving the previous years.
Aptitude, they have to read it from the other side.
Okay, so yeah, so Naveen, who's an alumni of IIIT Hyderabad, he says most questions will be at GATE level, but please focus on aptitude. And I think the best book for that is R.S. Agarwal. Okay, for aptitude. So in addition to all the GATE, I think the aptitude will be harder than GATE. I think data structures algorithms are also slightly harder than GATE, right? No, they're at GATE level. Okay. So for IIIT exam, most of the topics are at GATE level except aptitude, which will be slightly harder. So
it's good to have knowledge about all that.
Okay. So it also seems that there is more weightage for aptitude, right? Yeah, there is more weightage for aptitude at IIIT Hyderabad entrance exam. So practicing that more might help you get a better rank. Okay. How you stayed motivated back in college days? I'll tell you a very simple logic, folks. Okay. I studied in the youngest engineering college of my time, because I was the first batch of the engineering college. I was very clear from day one, and I was very clear from the early years that I wanted to go to a top-notch university for my master's and work on some cutting-edge research work. Of course, I didn't know what research work I want to do in the first couple of years. I only knew that I wanted to work on machine learning and AI in my final year, because we had a topic called neural networks and I was super excited about it. See, the best way is this, okay? Look at what your life and career will be if you don't go through GATE, and what your career and life will be if you go through GATE. Very simple logic, okay? This is simple human logic, okay? If you don't go through GATE, if you're from a small engineering college, you will most likely get a services company, okay? If you're good, if you worked hard, you'll get a services company. Once you get a services company, your salary will start at 3 to 4 lakhs. Okay, not just salary, your quality of work will not be as high from an intellectual standpoint as a top-notch product-based company. That's the reality. Okay, while you're doing some work, while you're creating value for your customers, the quality of work certainly is different. Okay, So now let's look at it from a financial standpoint, because quality of work is subjective. Some people may like some type of work, other people may like other type of work. Okay, because money is easy to measure. Okay, it's very, very easy to measure, but satisfaction is harder to measure. I know a lot of friends of mine who are extremely happy at services companies. I have friends who are happy at product-based companies. I have people who are unhappy at product-based companies. I have friends who are unhappy at services-based companies. Okay, so satisfaction is something that I don't want to comment on because it's very hard to measure. Let's look at one thing that we can measure, which is salary. Okay, let's start with that. So at a services company, you'll start at 3.5 to 4 lakhs. Okay, typically, maybe 4.5 lakhs in the best case. In 5 years, where would you be? In 5 years, you'll mostly reach 8 lakhs, maybe 9 lakhs, right? That's what your career will be, right? In 10 years, where would you be? My batchmates are at 12 years from now. 12 years since we graduated in 2007. Most of them are in the 18 to 20 lakh price bracket in terms of their salaries. Okay, these are good people. These are hardworking people, by the way. These are not people who just slacked. These are people who are consistently hard worked. Some of them, the very best people are at 22, 23. Now let's look at what happens if you go through GATE. Just look at the money because it's easy to measure, right? And we all understand the value of money. It's much more easy. Satisfaction is much more subjective and personal, right? So if you look at GATE, okay, 2 years. So your friend went to, let's say, a services company, you went to GATE. 2 years later, you have to continuously work hard. If you stop working hard, you're a dinosaur. Your game is up. Okay, I'm assuming that both your friend and you are working hard. Okay, if you work hard, what happens? In 2 years' time, you'll get into a good product-based company like Microsoft, Amazon. If you work harder, you'll get Google, Facebook, depending on the company. You'll get at least good product-based company. I'll give you Amazon context, right? A fresher starts at 16 to 18 lakhs, right? In 2 to 3 years, 2 years actually, not even 3 years, they go from SDE1 to SDE2. SDE2 salaries are at 35 lakhs per annum today. This is gross. This is not CTC. This is not some magic number. This is the gross salary you make per year. Okay. So by the time your friend has reached 5-year mark, right, when he's making 8 lakhs or so, you're already making 40 lakhs because you have 3 years experience at Amazon, right? Now 5 more years, you'll become SD3 if you work hard. SD3 salaries are already at 65 lakhs or so at Amazon. Okay, I'm just giving you Amazon today's numbers, while your friend is still struggling at 18 to 20 lakhs. So 10 years from the time you've graduated, you are 3x better, which means you have more financial resources. Remember, financial resources, while they're not sufficient to make life happy, they are necessary. I'll give you an example. Why am I able to teach now? Why am I able to take the path that I like right now? Because I've saved enough money in the last 5 years at Amazon. Right? How could I do a startup 18 months after I graduated from IAC? Because I joined Yahoo Labs, I saved some money. I wanted to do a startup. I was very clear at IAC that I want to go do a startup. I worked at Yahoo Labs for 18 months, learned something, saved some money, used it to build a startup. That startup didn't work out. I ran out of money. I didn't want to take money from my friends or family or parents. So I went back and joined Amazon. 5 years I worked at Amazon, saved enough money because I got a very good salary, right? I saved enough money that today I can risk and I could move back to India, right? Take all the financial risk and say, I want to teach. Let me try this startup. Okay. Money is not just about buying a BMW car or buying a 6-bedroom home. That's not the goal. Money also gives you options in life to explore and do new things. Okay. For example, if you want to do a startup, money is extremely necessary. Okay, when we see, even today we are a bootstrapped company. We have not raised any fund from external resources because we want to build applied courses to be one of the best educational institutions across the world. And for that, we have a vision, and all of us, all of the co-founders, we have not taken salary for a very long time. And how are we still surviving? Because we got good salaries earlier, because of which we saved money and we're able to do it. Very simple logic. Okay, so money is not just about buying some fancy thing. It's not just about material wealth. It's also about career satisfaction. I'm able to do startups because we've saved money from good jobs. So if you look at it from a money standpoint, it's extremely easy to stay motivated for GATE. Okay, it's extremely easy. Just look at the money. Money is an extremely easy motivator for 90-95% of students. Number one, if money doesn't motivate you, if intellectual satisfaction motivates you, or if research motivates you, then obviously your best choice to go, if you're a small engineering college, your best choice to do good research in India is IACs and top IITs. which can also become stepping stones to go to top-notch institutions like MIT, Stanford, CMU, etc. So it's extremely easy. It's extremely easy for you to actually stay motivated, right? Sahana has, so what is the importance of BTech project? I think Sahana has already answered this. It's extremely important, right? Because most interviews, they'll ask you what project have you worked on, right? Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so I didn't understand, Sahana, your question. Why is it M log? So your question is, I didn't understand the time complexity of Kruskal's algorithm, right? So it's, you're saying it's order of M log M to order of M log N. So I think the Kruskal's algorithm is N log N plus M log N, right? That's the time complexity. So if you combine both of them, it will become M log N. I didn't understand where you got M log M. Oh, okay, I got it. Okay, so log M, right? So what is the maximum value of M? Okay, I got your question now. What is the maximum value of M? Okay, let's assume it's an undirected graph. Okay, your M is order of N square, right? Your M is at most N into N minus 1 by 2 if it's an undirected graph, right? Very simple. If it's a directed graph also, it will be just double of that. Okay, so your M is order of N square. Then what about log M? I think I've written this in the when I explained Kruskal's. Your M is at most N square, or at least probably I've explained this in the previous videos. I think I explained this in one of the first videos actually. Your M, or the number of edges, is order of N square, right? What about log M now? If you take log on both sides, your log M will be order of log N, because your square becomes a constant factor, right? When you take log. I hope this is clear now. I hope this is clear, right? Your M is at most N square. Okay. Now, if you take log on both sides, okay, log M is less than 2 log N, right? Which means log M is order of log N. Very simple, right? So your order of M log M becomes M log N. I hope this is clear now. Again, this concept has been explained in one of the videos. I remember explaining this very vividly. So just anyway, in case I missed it, just put in the comment section. I'll also add that as a comment so that other people will benefit from it. I think I explained this in one of the earlier videos about graphs, the basics of graphs, on how many edges are there in a graph. Okay, I think I mentioned that. I remember mentioning it very vividly. Okay, so okay, where are we? Okay. Someone told me IIIT Hyderabad last date application form is tomorrow. Is that true? I searched, but I couldn't find because
March 23rd.
March 23rd, which is today is 20th. Sure, right?
Yes.
You cross-checked?
Yes.
Okay. So Sunil, I think it is March 23rd, not tomorrow. But please apply as soon as possible. You don't want to mess it up. But again, please cross-check. Okay. This is from one of our teammates who has seen. Can you just cross-check?
Yes.
Sure, right? I don't want to give him a wrong advice.
No.
Okay. But please, even if you have a slow internet connection, sit down on it and apply it right now. Okay. It's okay. Even if it is 23rd, go apply it now. Okay. Okay. You have 3G, you have 2G connection, sit on it for 1 hour and do it. Okay. How to resolve conflict between money and knowledge? I don't think anybody has an answer. Even Socrates didn't have an answer to that. Okay. It's a constant fight and you have to pick one side. There are ways to pick both sides. I told you about Ikigai, right? There's a very nice concept called Ikigai in Japanese philosophy. So they say that there are 4 circles and your life will be great if you can live in the intersection of these 4 circles. First one is, I think I've mentioned this earlier also, it's a phenomenal philosophy. First one is what you like. Second one is what you're good at. Third thing is what pays you money. Fourth thing is what the world needs. Okay. If what you love doing is inquiring, is research, right, is pushing the boundaries of knowledge, try to ask yourself, how can I do that? Because you're interested in it. First of all, you have to be good at it. That's very important. You have to first realize if you're good at it. Okay, this is what you want to do. First, you have to become good at it. You have to figure out how to make reasonable money, if not billions of dollars or millions of dollars, at least reasonable money that you can take care of your family, you can take care of yourself, and how to contribute to the world. Okay, it's always a trade-off. trust me, it's a trade-off that people who are 50 years old, 60 years old, people who are very knowledgeable go through every day. Okay, so this is not new anywhere, but this is the reality. Okay. So I'm a second year student. So what is the best time to prepare for GATE? I'm assuming you're a second semester student now, right? Because there's a second semester going on. Why not start your GATE preparation in your third year itself? Because many subjects that you have in your third year will overlap with GATE subjects. Why not do it? Very simple, right? So you have more time to prepare. You have more time to prepare well and more thoroughly, and also your knowledge of the subjects is improving. And you will also perform well in your exams, because there are a lot of third year subjects right now in GATE, right, which will also be there in undergrad. So I started my preparation in my third year first semester, by the way. Actually, to be precise, after my second year second semester exams, in the summer vacation, I started preparing. Again, in those days, GATE score was valid. The exam that I wrote in third year was valid even in fourth year. That's not the case anymore, but it's always good to prepare because you get more time. Of course, you cannot get lazy because you have more time. Okay, don't forget that. 38 marks in GATE OBC category. Can I get middle NIT college? Sunil, can you just send us an email, because I don't have this information at the top of my mind for all categories. So please send an email. We'll try and find the most reliable resource and send you an answer. Okay, I don't want to just tell you at the top of my head, because I don't have all of this information in my head right now, to be honest. Okay. Oh, IITB MTech CSC is pretty good. It's pretty good. So don't worry about it. If you get it, go join.
It's AAA.
Sorry, it's what did he ask for? He asked for
AAA.
IIT Bangalore. I thought IITB. Okay, so IIT. That's a confusing. IIT Bangalore has been becoming pretty good nowadays. There are a lot. Again, it's also because of two reasons. Good students are joining IIT Bangalore, and because of the location. Because there's so many software companies in Bangalore, their placement track record has also improved. So in the recent past, I've been hearing a lot about IIT Bangalore, especially from the standpoint of having good placements and good students. So my best suggestion is, we don't have anybody in the team, right, that we know of who is an MTech. Placements are good. Yeah. The only thing that we know of is that placements are good. Yeah. So the packages are also pretty healthy. And we know this because we went to many of these institutions for hiring for our applied GATE course. So we went to a lot of NITs, IIITs, even some IITs for hiring. So we know some of these packages because we were a recruiter at some of these places. So IIIT Bangalore is improved significantly, and it's, I think, good place if you can get an admit there, and if you don't have any other option, right? So Sachin, I was studying in a city called Visakhapatnam, where we didn't have much of coaching for GATE. I almost prepared on my own. And yeah, almost most of my preparation was on my own. I went for some tests at that point of time. There was a local institute called Vinex. I don't know if it still exists in Visakhapatnam now. Yeah, they used to have some tests. I went there. The test quality was also not good, so I discontinued. But yeah, most of the preparation was self-preparation at that point of time. And I mostly prepared based on, I think I mentioned this earlier also. I went through last 30 years of question papers. I understood what types of questions are there, and I literally prepared my own strategy because I had time on my side also, right? So, and I try to read the standard text. I have the same CLRS from 2003 onwards. The same CLRS textbook that I used for GATE preparation is still with me, right? So the same books, same standard textbooks, I read as much as I can, solved as many practice problems as possible, solved almost last 30 years of GATE questions, and that's how I prepared. Very simple strategy. Okay, folks, I think we are running out of time. Okay. Okay, where are we? Okay, this. Yeah, 5 hours a day, 11 months, more than sufficient to crack GATE. If you're seriously preparing for 5 hours. Again, by the way, folks, there is this mentality, even I have this problem, okay? When you say 5 hours, is this 5 hours undisturbed, right? That's very important. Full focus 5 hours is different from, yaar, phone call aaya, YouTube mein ye video aaya, WhatsApp mein ye message aaya. That's not the case. 5 hours focused means 5 hours focused, okay? That is very different from 5 hours diffused learning. So if you are doing 5 hours a day, that's a lot of time to prepare for GATE per day for 11 months. But if you're doing diffused, even 24 hours is not sufficient. Trust me. Just tell yourself, don't even do 5 hours, do 1.5 hour chunks. That's what I do today. When I make videos or when I make content, when I answer questions, all of that, I sit for 1.5 hours. I don't pick any calls, no WhatsApp, nothing. Nobody at my family also disturbs me. That 1.5 hour, I just focus, get work done, then take 15-20 minute break. Again, sit for 1.5 hours, 15 minutes break, or if it's a lunch break, half an hour break, get back. In those breaks, I talk to my team, all of that stuff. So that focused 1.5 hour, 90 minutes is super duper important. No cell phone, nothing. The world isn't collapsing. The world survived when cell phones were not there. Today, we have too many distraction devices, right? Just keep all of the distraction devices, just open only what you want to learn, what you want to solve, just focus on that. What 90 minutes, 90-minute chunks are very good, right? Because you'll get in 90 minutes, you need a break. 5 hours basically means 3 plus 90-minute sessions. That's more than sufficient. Okay, sounds good. So any other question? IAC Bangalore or IIT Bombay? Which is better in terms of placements? Good question. So again, there are two different beasts. At IIT Bombay, there is a lot of competition because there are lots of students. Of course, there are many more companies that come to IIT Bombay. IAC is much more small. Okay, the competition is less. Of course, the number of companies that come also are less. Okay, the fundamental difference between IIT Bombay and IAC is more on the research focus. IAC is extremely research focused, very little focus on placements. That doesn't mean people don't get placed. People do get placed very comfortably. That's not a problem, right? The problem here is the focus and the culture, right? At IIT Bombay, while there is some research focus for some professors, most students want to get a good placement. That's the primary, or some people, like especially undergrads, want to crack GATE. Okay, so the focus and the culture is different at IIT Bombay as compared to IAC. And the culture also tweaks you. At IAC, you'll say, dude, I need to publish a paper before I graduate. At IITB, you'll say, I have to get into the best international placement. Okay, I'm not saying everybody, but this is a general attitude. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule everywhere, right? In terms of placements, if you go to IIT Bombay or IAC, it doesn't matter. If you work hard, you'll get good placements at both places. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the placement. If you want to go do a PhD later on, IAC is certainly a better place than IIT Bombay, to the best of my knowledge. Again, if you get into some good professors, if you get into some top professors, there are some phenomenal professors at IIT Bombay also. If you get to work with them, IIT Bombay also is a great stepping stone to go to MIT or Stanford or Berkeley for your PhD. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So any other questions that you have that I could not answer, please send us an email. And the technical questions, I couldn't make sense of them. Some of them, if not all. Please put in the comment section if there is something that we've missed. We will add on to it. We are willing to add more content as long as that is in the GATE syllabus in the first iteration. In the second iteration, we'll keep adding some optional content. If you have time, go through them. But because our objective here is to crack GATE. Okay, our objective is very clear, and hence we have to live with that constraint. Okay, so please understand that fact, and see you folks. I hope for the next live session, I'll have lots of comments under the videos, and we can tackle some of these questions, right? Some of you have asked some very good questions, like Sahana and Arnab have asked good questions here. So if you could just put it in the comment section, we'll collate all of that, and we'll try and answer as many as possible in the next live session. Thank you, folks. Thank you for your active participation. I hope this was useful, at least for some of you. And any question you have, feel free to email us or call us. Hey, when is Holi? I didn't know Holi is nearby. 23rd? Okay. Yeah, I still remember when my Holi has a good memory for me in my life. My GATE third year results. Yeah. So when I was in BTech third year, this is 2006. My GATE results came, and I got all India 178 in my third year, and that was on a Holi day. I still remember that very vividly. I just checked my marks, and then we went for Holi celebration with all friends. So I still remember that. Okay. So Sahana, for the comment, right? Just comment in the video itself. So for every video, you have the comment section below that, right? So just go to the video. Any video that you have a question, just right under that video, there is a comment section. Leave a comment there. That's all. Okay. Tomorrow is Holi. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
We should just celebrate. I think people have forgotten at office. They've gotten so busy at work. Okay. Advance happy Holi to all of you. Don't drink too much bhang. It's not very healthy. Okay. So Have a safe Holi. Play safe, stay healthy, don't mess it up. Most importantly, enjoy with your family and friends. Eat lots of sweets. Okay, that's what I'm looking forward for, guys. We should arrange something at office also. Today is Holi. No, come on, we missed it. I think it's tomorrow. We'll fix it. We'll do some jugaad and do it tomorrow. March 21st, right? Today is 20th. Yes, tomorrow. Okay, folks. See you then. Have a happy Holi. Have a safe Holi. Enjoy yourself. Bye bye. Just a sec. Okay.